Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video we're going to talk about the Pubg September patch that just dropped today on the live servers. It was on the test servers for a couple of days if I'm not mistaken, which is still too few in my opinion because when I played today in the live servers there are a couple of things that were kind of annoying. A couple of bugs and hit reg didn't seem all that great on first-person servers. But anyways, that is a subject for another discussion. We're going to talk about what the patch has brought us. Now, I know I haven't made a PUBG video in a couple of weeks. There's just been so much stuff coming out with Battlefield 1 and very few things coming out with PUBG. And I haven't played a lot of PUBG, I just haven't had the time. But anyways, let's get right on to the video. Now, vaulting, they're still working on it a lot. There's no ETA on when it's going to drop, but they are working on it a lot, so that's pretty cool. Idle players earning BPs, they have implemented a rule that will not allow idle players to earn battle points, and they will monitor it to improve the current system going forward. So if you guys are not aware, there is a large problem of people farming battle points to get crates to then sell the items on the Steam market, making profit, and also tanking the market quite a bit. If you guys haven't noticed, if you go look in the Steam market for Playerunknown'S Battlegrounds item, you can see that the prices have dropped drastically since this has started. So the items being on the Steam market, and everything's just going down a lot, and they are trying to prevent people from farming battle points. Moving on with the video, they're adding first-person player servers for duos on OCE servers, and they are still working on solo and squad. They have noticed that a lot of players have started purchasing the game in South America and Southeast Asia, and they are working on bringing first-person player servers to those regions. Client optimization, they optimize the shadows, improve performance on low-end PCs by optimizing buildings, optimize client and server performance when there are multiple vehicles in a close vicinity, and they optimize the UI. I haven't seen much improvement in my performance. I haven't seen a drop in performance, so hopefully they can figure out what is causing this, because I mean I have a pretty decent PC and I'm not even sometimes hitting 60 frames per second, so it's kind of annoying even though I'm playing on low, and I'm still getting a hard time reaching those 60 frames per second. So it would be awesome if they could improve the performance even more to be able to get higher frames than that. In the world, they added a new Foggy weather effect. It's very awesome. I really like it. It prevents people from being able to snipe all that well because you can't really see that good for long distances. So it promotes close quarter combat rather than long range sniping and stuff like that. So the Foggy weather effect will hinder player sight on the map. This weather effect has a low probability to occur. I would like it for all of the weather effects to have equal probabilities, because sometimes I can only play the certain weather effects very seldomly. Like the Foggy weather effect, I only played it twice, and I played PUBG for maybe 5 hours today, so that is very few times in which I got to experience the Foggy weather effect. And in order to test the weather effect, the Foggy weather will have a higher chance to occur during test server gameplay, but will be reduced for live servers. So that's kind of unfortunate, but anyways, let's move on with the video. Enhanced graphics of the sky and pre-existing weather effects, and added a new town east of Stalber on the right hand side of the map. There is now a new town, so it's very small, but it just gives players incentive to actually go to that part of the map because it was a very underused part of the map. UI added new option to change crosshair color. This is great. Added new double tap feature and control options for leaning. That is also good. Added new key bindings when using consumables. Added new keybind mark your current position on the map. So that is also something new. Added a new keybind to center the map around the character's current position. And they added a couple of other features which just improve the player experience altogether. New items, added a new weapon, the MINI-14. The MINI-14 is a lightweight and compact 5.56 semi-automatic marksman rifle, so very similar to the SKS, but chambering 5.56 rounds, and it is not found in the supply crate. It is found all over the map. and said weapon uses sniper rifle attachments such as the muzzle and magazine slots and can take any type of optic. This weapon has lower damage stats than the other DMRs, however, but is compensated by a very high muzzle velocity and low bullet drop, so you should feel as though the bullets are hitting the targets faster and that you can shoot for longer ranges without having to compensate as much. Now for gameplay improvements, distance at which shadows are rendered are now synchronized across all graphics settings to ensure fair play. So whether you have your settings set to very low or ultra, the shadows should render at the same distance. Characters who are knocked out underwater will now have a breath gauge as well as take additional damage over time. They adjusted the balance of several weapons, increased the crossbow reload speed by 35%. This was needed because the crossbow was super fucking slow to reload. Tommy gun has now been removed from care packages and become a world spawn. This is awesome. It's because I don't think the Tommy gun was used all that much. Most of the time when I even went for supply crates, I didn't even pick up the Tommy gun if that's what was in there. Also, you may now holster grenades by switching to another weapon or unarmed state unless the grenades have already been cooked. The firing mode of weapons will now remain consistent with the firing mode that was selected after dropping a weapon and picking it back up again. That's good because sometimes I accidentally switch weapons when I don't want to, and then sometimes I forget to switch firing modes, so that's great. Adjusted the collision damage of motorcycles. Actions, recoil animations are now updated for all weapons. Adjusted animations and balance for throwables, so decreased fuse time of the flash grenade to 2.5 seconds. Increase the lethal and injury ranges of the frag grenade, improve the animation for throwing grenades. Cooking of grenades is now manual, default key set to R, so that is very interesting. The grenade will no longer automatically cook, you will have to cook it yourself, so that's another thing to keep note of. The movement speed of a character affects the trajectory of throwables. Improved leaning animation. Sprinting will no longer prevent regeneration of breath gauge and will stop leading state automatically, and you may change your stance while reloading without canceling the reload. That is great. I hated not being able to, prone when I was reloading. It's not like I couldn't do it for real. I mean, it was just an annoyance more than anything else. Sounds, added new sounds when using consumables. For example, when you drink an energy drink, you hear the guy actually like swallowing the drink and opening a can. So just a couple of little things here and there. Adjusted the audible ranges of reloading and window breaking. Added a new sound for collision between vehicles and characters, and added a new sound for the animation of removing the grenade safety pin. Bug fixes, many bug fixes. As always, you guys can go and read the full patch notes. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys want to go read that. And for the final part of the notes, it's titled Others. Revised the BP methodology to prevent BP farming and idle users from gaining BP, added first-person player leaderboards for all regions with first-person players, and NVIDIA Shadowplay Highlights now works on Windows 7 and Windows 8. However, if Windows Aero is disabled, it may not work. So basically what I understand from NVIDIA Shadowplay Highlights is that you can just capture a highlight directly from in the game itself, and then it'll save it to your computer instead of having NVIDIA Shadowplay open or OBS or whatever recording software you use. If you forget to open it, you can just capture a highlight immediately. So that is awesome for content creators. If you forget to turn on or you accidentally weren't recording or something like that, that is all great. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have seen the new weather effect, if you guys enjoy the new weapons, what you think of all these new things coming to PUBG, if you think that they should actually have the patches on the test servers for more than a couple of days. I certainly think they do. While you're down there, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to join our new Discord server. There's a link in the description down below. We're starting to build a small community on there. If you guys are looking for people to play with, it's an awesome place to be. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that notify bell. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.